Hi, how are y'all doing tonight? It's Friday. It's Friday. How are you guys doing? Ooh, y'all. It's been the longest week yet since coronavirus, right? I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am exhausted. So, physically, mentally, emotionally, I am tired. Um, you know, there's an aspect of what's going on in America that I think is being overlooked. Not overlooked, but not discussed. And that's the way that it is affecting those of us that are mothers, those of us that are wives, those of us that have had experience with racism or with bigot cops. Hey, summer girl, it's it's all day, every day. If you have social media, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of us that are what you call it, y'all the empaths, those of us that feel what goes on around us, right? This is overwhelming because the truth is, if you are truly an empath and God has graced you and allowed you to walk in a, a position or given you a gift that allows you to not just understand where someone is at or where they're hurting, but you can actually feel it. Now, there's those of you out here that are going to see this, that are going to know exactly what I'm saying. But right now is very overwhelming for us. I went to bed yesterday. This is real life talk with April, so I'm going to be honest and real about myself. If y'all can share this, I will appreciate it. And also go like and share and subscribe to my YouTube. But I went to bed yesterday at 4 p.m., almost in tears. There was absolutely nothing going on here at home. I was just overwhelmed emotionally. It was emotions that, man, they were just flooding. And I went to bed. I didn't wake up till 10:30 this morning. When I woke up, no, not 10:30, it's 9:30. When I woke up, I still was on the verge of tears. It doesn't shut off. And it's overwhelming. I'm not angry. I'm not upset that this is my life because I have been living with it for years. Even as a child, I was different and I knew when different things were going on and people were hurt and things. I think that's a reason why my sexual abuse affected me so deeply. That and that's also why I've always been such a fighter. Because the minute I feel threatened, I attack. No ifs, ands, or buts. If I can throw something, if I can't put my hands on you, I will throw something. I just react. I have had to teach myself not to do that. But it's tough when you can actually feel the intent that someone is having. But I just want to say right now to all of you that are in that place that we have to remember it's not anyone's fault that we have this gift, if that's what you call it, right? I've heard many times that certain gifts, if people brag about it, they probably ain't got it. And but I still has to get up and I have to look at my husband, at my sons, at my daughters. And I say, and I have to ask myself, who's going to find out that they're black? Oh, well, they're going to look at them because none of them are white passing, except me and Zane. I have to wonder when my son leaves, when Jonathan leaves and goes to the store, when Javier is at work, is somebody going to come in there and be racially attacking to Javier? Because I've seen the post where they say, oh, the good old boys in Bradford County will run the N-words out of here. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all gonna do? Because I'm gonna tell you, this mama would not advise you effing with any of her ducklings. You do what you want to do. But the consequences, I don't know that you're willing to pay for messing with one of mine. And I don't care who you are or what uniform you wear. I've wore a uniform too. And I have never treated anyone differently because of how they looked. I see these posts that's going around from these military people talking about, I fought with my brothers and sisters, black, white, brown, and yellow. Let me tell you something. The military looks like churches. Everybody don't get along. There is racism there too. Ain't nothing worse than being stuck on a ship and in a berthing with someone you know don't like you because of who you were born to be. It is what it is, but it's the truth. That's why I have not shared that. It is a lie. Do y'all remember it just is part of some culture. It is bred into them. And what do we do? You know? That's why I'm tired. Because I want to fix it. But there's only one way to fix it. And that is to be godly sorry. Godly sorry. And stop it. Don't do it no more. If you know, if through all of this, you realize you have some bigotry in your heart, you realize that you really, well, damn, maybe that was a little racist. If you find yourself now, when you're talking to your minority friends or family, and you find yourself having to watch what you say, you probably are a little racist. Now, Summer told me, Summer, you on here, what you say that type of racism is they ain't aware of, or whatever it is you called it. Please type it in here so I can repeat it, because I can't remember what you said. On top of all of this, my autoimmune is kicking my behind because I'm stressed. It's par for the course. It happens every time. However, it is what it is, right? Hold on, y'all, because I'm going to get through this and I am not going to cry, cuss, or yell. What are we supposed, everybody has to be accountable and responsible for their actions. Every man or head of household is responsible for the actions of the children in that home if they're children. Now, if they 15, 16, 17, I understand that get a little difficult. But if they still children, you're responsible for how they think. Period. It's about how you raise them. I don't care what nobody says. Because let me tell you something. My children have been called the N-word. My daughter has been spit on. They have been through it. And they still, Kyra and Shay went through stuff in DC. And all of my children love people. Now, due to our cultural differences, right, there may be more of one ethnicity than another. However, they look at everybody the same. They judge them off of their character. They judge them off of their hearts. Period. I've never told my kids who they should love or who they should not hang out with or not like. Never. Regardless of my feelings, I've never said that to them. And guess what? I still won't. But I do have to check with Javier and check with Jonathan and check with Julian. Hey, what y'all gonna do if you get stopped by the police? Hit record on their phone and put their hands on the up in the air. Don't touch your steering wheel. They might think you got something in there. And when they come to the window and you realize it's gonna be an okay situation, but you need to verify that they are not one of these cops who think they can do what they want to because they've got on a uniform and a badge. They need to verify that. I don't need them to verify what color the police officer is. I need them to verify that that cop is not a threat to them. Because hear me, all cops aren't threats. You're right. But it's more than enough of them out there that they all look bad. Let me talk to y'all about something that really happens. Our soldiers and military personnel are doing time in Briggs for behaviors in other countries that don't even look like what we've watched happen to George Floyd. They're in the brig because of how they treated the prisoners in Guantanamo Bay. But the same people that supported that are saying, well, the cop acted within, what? How? How can we not be able to do things in other countries, but y'all can do it right here in America? And you expect those of us that are aware of this disgusting fact to be quiet. Sorry, I don't wear a uniform anymore. I encouraged all of my children to go to HBCUs, historically black colleges or a university. Why? Because there is so much they won't face on that campus that they would face on a, what's it called? A predominantly white campus. Institute, PWI. That's it. That's just the truth. That's things that most parents don't think about. What colleges their kids going to go to and how is it going to affect them? But listen, I've seen racism in Florida. I've seen racism in Illinois. I've seen racism in Virginia. I have seen racism in North Carolina. So look, it's everywhere. But what do we do? And I don't know, y'all. I see friends of mine that are, things are being said in their presence or to them that I would go all the way left. I'm so proud of them for how they are standing and representing all of us. Because some of us could possibly ill represent us right now because we're angry. I want to tear stuff up. Now, I ain't saying I'm going to go out there and steal nothing or loot it. I'm not going to do that. But the rage, the anger, the hurt, the ridiculousness of the fact that we're still dealing with these types of issues is overwhelming. And for those of you that may hear this and say, oh, they're not going to do that and start, let me tell you something. I remember being in high school and them pulling all their trucks up to the back by the ROTC building with rifles in the windows and chains and slinging them around and talking about what they're going to do to all the N-words, right? It didn't matter. They did that at my high school. And they were allowed. It's facts. I don't have to lie. And anybody here says different from Stark, you lying. The Caucasian people could sit in their big old Bubba trucks in Winn-Dix in an old parking lot here. We couldn't meet up at McDonald's after a game. They would run us out McDonald's in the parking lot. It's just the truth. I don't know what the answer is, if I'm honest. I try to think, then I come up with something, and then I think about it and realize, no, that's been tried. That didn't work. All of these people are apologizing to Colin Kaepernick, right? I call bullshit. They're not sorry. They're sorry that now something has happened and all of America is pissed. All of America wants questions. And when I say all of America, I'm talking about even the Caucasians that are out there and outraged by what has happened. I don't know why the other things didn't outrage them. I don't know. But that doesn't matter. They outraged now. Now Richmond wants to take down the Robert E. Lee statue. Y'all, it wasn't 3 years ago. Might have been. Maybe 16, 17. I don't remember exactly. But they were begging them to take those statues down. And the people they refused. It didn't matter how much they protested and rallied and marched, they refused to remove it. But now they want to remove it. Well, don't remove it now. Don't do it now. Because right now it don't make a difference. Because the fact you didn't want to remove it and you were so against the idea of removing it. And it took another black man dying at the hands of police for you and us tearing up stuff for you to want to remove a statue. But I do you even one better. How about y'all put up a statue of Emmett Till? How about y'all put up a statue of anybody from Black history? I don't care who it is. You pick him. As long as he was black and part of Black history. You can put a statue up. Why not? Exactly. The fact that it took another death and this degree of looting and rioting for you, sir, to say, we're going to take it down is disgusting. Y'all better stop voting for whoever y'all voting for up there. Y'all need to register to vote too. What the world just happened to that camera? I don't know what just happened. Y'all, it look pink now. You have to register to vote. And you have to vote locally and federally. You have to vote. I know the whole your vote don't count. Look, that's up to them. But you need to be in the number voting. I'm not going to get into how you should vote. You can look up you should be researching every single candidate. You should be looking at their vote history. You should be looking at their social history. You should be looking at who they hung out with 20, 30 years ago. Because, baby, if they was with them 20, 30 years ago, they with them now. What do you think? They've been in this money-making business together for years. Pay attention. We have to pay attention. We have to make them change. And the only way to do that is to vote and stop spending money. Excuse me. I want every one of y'all on my page to go support a minority business. Go each family should support minority businesses. If we all would do that, we'd get something done. I'm not saying don't support your local mom and pops. I'm not saying don't support your local businesses. What I'm saying is support minority-owned businesses. Want an example? I got one for you. Our lawn. I could have went with a white guy I grew up with at a lower price because he was giving me a discount because of we friends. But I already have a lawn guy, and he takes excellent care of our yard. He is not busting our heads. He charges a fair rate, which is why he has been cutting our yard for over a year now. He did it all last season, and we renewed with him this season. And as long as he's cutting grass, we will continue to renew with him. You do it how you want to. That's the only thing that we do in this house that we source out is the yard. We have to put our money where our mouth is. Period. It is that simple, guys. And we all have to do it. It can't be just so and so, and this and that and the other. We all have to do it. Forget the blackouts. Like, what is it, 7th of July? I don't even know why they're not doing it before the 4th of July. I don't understand because we're going to be done lit up all the fireworks. Well, we don't do fireworks, but I know people are already buying fireworks. Do you understand? What we got to, and people, why we got to go through so much to get organized to do something together? Also, I got some information there about that Baker County article. Y'all, ain't nobody in America lying about being a veteran. We do not get any benefits because we veterans. Are you serious? Why somebody lie about that? And I know they didn't say he lied, but the way they worded it, it was like he lied. They lying. And they stirring the pot. Y'all, I watched that man and heard everything he said on Sunday. And he said what needs to be saying, especially from pastors and leaders. Y'all Christians ought to go listen to him. Because what it said was right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you just don't know. But like I said, I know food. And I'm going to tell some of y'all racist people out there now today. Some of y'all looking at people that's 100% Hispanic, Latina, Latino, and you think they're white, Caucasian. But when they check their ethnicity, we marking Hispanic or Latino. And y'all just think that's what you're dealing with. And the way your face turn up and frown when you find out otherwise, it's like taking a piece of candy out the baby hand, tuck the sucker. That's how sour face y'all look. But y'all, I'm tired. I'm wore out. Why should I have to worry? You say parents always say, they worry about their kids and when they're out of their sight. How many of you go to bed, or how many of you, every time your husband or one of your children get in their car, you have to wonder if they're going to be okay. Jonathan is 21 years old, and when he's not here, I be talking to him. I be like, boy, call me. Texting, FaceTime. And don't let him not text me back and he ain't here. Baby, I call fast. What you doing? Summer got stopped here and stopped by McDonald's by a woman cop, a white female cop. She was such a bitch to Summer. She was so mean and nasty to her. Didn't even write her a ticket, right? Didn't even write her a ticket. But the things she said and how she treated her. I told Summer to go file a grievance. Summer didn't want to. She recorded the whole thing. I heard it. And Summer said she wasn't going to file a grievance, that she didn't want that problem here for us. I told her I ain't worried about it. You understand? I'll talk to Gordon one-on-one and explain what happened. But she didn't want to. I got to respect that. She grown. I couldn't file it because I showed her. You heard me? But the way she talked to my daughter, I guarantee you she ain't talking to everybody like that. Want to know where she's going, what she's doing here, why her license says Tallahassee. Are you kidding me? So that's what y'all ask everybody you pull over? That's what the police ask every single person they pulled over. And before you say yes, don't lie to me. I've got more speeding tickets than 50 people added up together. They don't ask all them questions. All they ask you for license registration. If you first they say if you know what you pulled them for, then they ask for your license registration. Boo the mess. All that stuff that Cracker said to my daughter was completely unnecessary. I don't care what uniform she was in. The same white female cop pulled my son, Jonathan, and talked to him the same damn way. What are we supposed to do? And anybody that knows my kids knows they some mannerable little people. All of them. They're all respectful. They grew up in a military household. Me nor Julian played that. They didn't even get chores they didn't even get paid to do chores. None of our children got an allowance. Allowance? You live here. They were raised to learn to take care of what was theirs and to work and to be respectful, as are most of us. Now, what are we going to do? I was holding Jonah earlier and feeding him, and all I could think was he's 8 months old. In 5 or 6 years, we're gonna have to have a real his parents, not me really. His parents are gonna have to have a real conversation with him if we don't start to change things. We have to change things because it is obvious to me that most of white America would prefer to stick to the idea that Black people, minorities are where they are because that's where they want to be and they just don't want any better. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is a lie. We work hard. Very hard. Y'all don't want to look at them welfare numbers though, do you? Y'all don't want to look at the unemployment statistics, do you? And see who's got the bigger number. Stop it. Like I said, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before I go. If you're around minorities and you have to think about what you're saying or how you're saying it, you're a racist. At minimum. At minimum. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all on Monday.